Welcome to Books on Air. I'm Suzanne Harris. Books on Air is a series where we do a deep dive into the writer's passion. We talk to them about why they wrote their book, what their writing process is like, and what they hope their readers will take away from the book. You get a real glimpse behind the curtain, if you will. Joining me today is Timothy Powell, and he's here to talk about his wonderful children's book, Gilda's and Glen's Geese Nest. It's Gosling time now. Timothy, welcome.
Hi, Suzanne.
You know, every book has a birthday. There's the time when you decide that you're going to write to that book. Now, the book itself is a gift for the reader. That's the story that you choose to tell the reader. But they don't know that second story. They don't know that birthday for that book. How did you decide to write Gilda and Glen's Geese Nest? It's Gosling time now.
I wrote it in my apartment. I didn't know what I was writing. I had to sit down and write, and I started writing. It was all one sentence until I went to school. I had to take some college prep classes, and when I got the idea to write the book, I was so convicted. I didn't write it the year before because I didn't take time to write. And I knew I was supposed to write, but I was too busy. So I sat down. I was on sick leave and from work. So I had all the time in the world to write. I was on crutches. So when I wrote this 25 years ago, started 25 years ago, I didn't have the direction until about 2000. 2017, 18. I had the direction. My father gave me the direction I was supposed to go, and he said one word, and off I went. I had to take some college classes at work. They had a learning center, UAW Learning Center, where I worked, and it turned out real good. I think the book with Gilda and Glen's Geese Nest, It's Gosling Time Now, is not related to The Ugly Duckling by any means. Oh,
no, you're right.
But different characters.
Totally.
and it's well, with Gilda and Glen, they started their nest, their family, and they had 3 goslings hatched, Meeme, Freely, and Shuely. And then there was 3 eggs in the nest with no names. And it's to me, the book means a whole lot to me. I can I might have a hard time expressing my like to my book because it's something that it's a labor of love. In high school, I hated English until my junior year in high school. And I had a teacher in elementary school that didn't let me read. So I turned something I hated into a passion to write. I love to write.
It takes a lot.
It means something to me.
It takes a lot to write, doesn't it, Timothy?
Yes, it does. I think I have a good way to describe what I saw. I seen all their actions, Meeme, Freely, and Shuely, and they started the book out pretty well.
Well, they're a lovely family of geese, and I love the way you expressed them. I like the family values that you express in the book. I like the actions of the family in the book, and you have some really clever characters in the book. I like Mr. Emerald Greeny Heron. I liked him.
Yeah.
And my favorite, I think, was Wendel the Blue Wind Breeze Blower. Did you come up with all those yourself?
Yes, I did.
Now, Gilda gets in trouble. She gets one of her feathers stuck, doesn't she?
Yes, she got her feathers stuck. Yeah, and it was there for 20 hours. At least 20 hours. And it was 1 inch from her right eye. It blurred her vision.
And she's a busy mom. She doesn't have time for this, right?
Yeah.
And she's got 3 little ones on the way.
Yeah, 3 on the way. And she was discouraged with that feather on her bill. And she loses it in time. But she had to pray to Wendel the Wind Breeze Blower. Wendel the Blue Wind Breeze Blower was a good character because somebody had to blow that feather away.
Exactly. Do you want to share that part that you wrote with the listeners?
Yeah. Yes.
Go ahead.
Let's start out where you need church to Father Glen and Gilda Goose. Am I going to have a feather in my bill when I grow old? Goslings, Shuely, and Freely chirp out. How about us? Yeah, will we have a feather attached to our bill too? Well, Gilda Goose cackles out. We'll have to wait and see. All of you can get an attached feather on your bills. Meeme, Freely, Shuely, even you, like Glen Gander. It's a calm day. Where is Wendel the Blue Wind Breeze Blower? He hasn't helped me with the gust of wind. Mother Gilda Goose says there's no wind. The pond is still and no waves are upon it. On the shore of Timmy's pond, an emerald greeny heron glides down to the ground. Mr. Emerald Greeny Heron is his name. Why did you land it right in front of my nest? Father Glen Gander cackled out. Mr. Emerald Greeny Heron garbles out. I have been hearing your goslings complaining. They have been chirping about that feather on Gilda Goose's bill. Mr. Emerald Greeny Heron garbles to Father Glen Gander and Mother Gilda Goose. Trust in Wendel the Blue Wind Breeze Blower to blow breezes to float your feather away from you. Gilda cackles. Thank you for flying by, Mr. Emerald Greeny Heron. Emerald Greeny Heron, I'm done reading. He jumped in the pond offshore and jumped out as fast as he went in. And I visualized it. I called the DNR to see if it was a new species of birds. But they're common in Michigan. They're short-legged. It's a heron, but it's short-legged. He jumps offshore and gets a fish. He comes back on shore and it slides down his gullet. Yeah. So it's a cute little story.
It is a very cute story, and the illustrations are lovely. They really complement your work very, very well. When you were writing this book, Timothy, who did you think in your mind would be the person or persons that would read it?
Grandparents to grandchildren and parents to children. It's an important book because it tells life stories of how they fight and not actually fight, but how they react to different animals or fowls that come into their territory. And it's to me, it's reassuring. It goes to children to encourage children to read and write. It's never too late. And so as a vivid mind I have, I think I portrayed it pretty well in the book.
I think you did too. And one of the things that I love about children's books and children book writers is that you're creating memories. It's exactly what you said. Grandparents will buy a copy of Gilda's and Glen's Geese Nest, and they'll sit down and they'll read it with their grandchildren. Parents will read it to their children. Older siblings might read it to their younger siblings. And to me, that creates memories, and it creates a stronger family bond. Would you agree?
Yes, it does. It will enhance your lives to think before you Frida, Trinidad, and goldfinches, Frederick. Those goldfinches in the tree looking down at the feather on Gilda's beak, and bill, I should say, her bill. It tells a story about. I think it's important not to belittle anybody, you know, and the way they mocked the three goslings, Meeme, Shuely, and Shuely. They mocked them, you know, and so Gilda straightened them out.
She's a good mom.
Yeah.
I really like what you've done with the story. I think that it's a really good story, and I think it talks about, you know, there are children who don't have the opportunity to interact with wildlife like geese, and they don't have the opportunity to know what a forest is like, or to think about animals and how animals interact with one another. And I think what your book does is stimulate those children's imagination, so that if I were a parent or if I were a kindergarten teacher and I were using your book in my class, or I were reading your book to my kids, I would take and say, okay, let's look up goldfinches and see what they look like. Let's look up geese and see what they look like. Oh, look, there's more than one kind of goose. There's not just one kind. Look. And so you could use your book as a way to springboard the curiosity and give additional information to kids, just because you're reading a book.
And don't come into their territory that you get close to the nest.
Right.
So take you out.
Exactly. Exactly.
They'll protect their young at all costs.
Now, I think if our listeners want to find a copy of the book, excuse me, it's on Amazon. And let me sort of do a little bit of spelling so that they can find it. The title of the book is GILDA'S, GILDA''S, and GLEN'S, GLEN''S, Geese Nest, : It's Gosling, GOSLING, Time Now, by Timothy, TIMOTHY, Powell, POWELL. And when you go to Amazon, you can see the cover of the book, and you can hear a little excerpt of the book. And I think that was great fun to have that excerpt there on the page. Yeah, I really like that. Now, can they find you on X? I think you told me that you were on X.
Yeah, actually, I don't have my calling numbers on me.
If they put in your name, Timothy Powell, would it come up?
Yeah, it should come up, yeah. It should come up, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I haven't tried it. I wrote my book with my intention of not changing my name. You know why?
Why?
Because I don't have anything to hide from children. Why should I want to hide my real name from children?
Very good. Very good.
And with this book, it's the money. Part of the money I'm going to get from this book, I'm going to donate it to Save the Whales.
Oh, that's wonderful, Timothy.
Yeah, I think that's a good ministry. I think that's earthly good. Because I need to do that. I made a promise to myself I would donate a portion of the money to Save the Whales.
I think that's an important charity. I think that's wise. Yes. Good for you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Let me ask you this, Timothy. Writing a book is no small thing. It's a pretty big thing. And when you were writing, did you learn anything about yourself that you didn't know before?
What I learned was I want to perfect it more. Each book I write, I want to do research. I want to do the research and study upon the characters. I think if I don't add something to my knowledge of what I'm writing about, I have, I'll be lacking, but I don't want to lack. There's a spot where there's ducklings that went up on the egg, last egg. His name is Mikey. He's not hatched yet. And there's a furry black, 14 or 15 ducklings that went on top of that goose egg.
Wow.
It's the opposite of the duckling. And that made so much. It made me smile because I didn't believe it myself.
Good.
So it happened.
Good.
It expands your mind to write on paper, to encourage and illustrate with words the facts of wildlife and how they relate to one another. I really enjoyed writing it. Like I said, I wrote it in one sentence, 39 pages of legal paper. I wrote all one sentence.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I had some really good teachers at the Learning Center, Linda Kessler and Megan Rumble. They really helped me with my paragraphs and everything else. But it's a labor of love. I love to write. I hated it in elementary school when they only let me read one sentence, sit down. You know, why would the teacher do that?
I don't know. I'm a former teacher, and I would never do that to one of my students. I found that very upsetting for you.
It was. I didn't like English from that time on until I took a journalism class in my junior year in high school. That's what got me writing. I've written a lot of stories, but Gilda and Glen's Geese Nest is the first book I published.
I'm so glad you decided to do this and that you changed your mind about writing. Timothy, I have one last question for you.
Okay.
When our listeners pick up a copy of your book and they sit down with their children, their grandchildren, their younger brother or sister, whoever it is, and they begin to read the book, they will eventually come to the very last page. When they read that last page and they close the book for the very, very last time, what do you want them to take away from the book? Is there a message there that you want to leave that reader with?
Gilda and Glen, they lived through all the storms that were out there, all the violent ways of waterfowl, Canadian geese react when somebody enters their territory. I want to say that maybe they can look at the the end of the book, because Gilda and Glen, they had a victory flight. They had a victory flight. All their geese made it in the story. And it's actually, there's so many good things in the book that I come to the face. The end of the book is only their beginning.
Oh, I like that.
They're Meeme, Shuely, Lucy, Ricky, and Mikey, the three guys that hatched. They have new lives coming forward, new beginnings, and they're going to have to go and find their own nest, build their own nest at home, and relate to someone new. And that's the way I look at the book. It's some new beginnings. It's never the end till the end gets there. When you finish the book, there's a lot of positives that could be negatives, according to talking too loud so everybody hears you. Like Heron Gander and Gilda Goose. They're just two people that, Gosling people, geese, that I portrayed that they raise their voice out in the open. And it's not warming. It's kind of alarming. You don't know what they're saying until they say it in public. That's what I like to say. Don't yell at your children or your neighbors.
Very positive message. Yeah, very positive message. And I love what you said about the end of the book is only the beginning. I really like that. Timothy, it has been such a pleasure to have you as my guest today on Books on Air. Thank you so much for joining me. And I absolutely love Gilda's and Glen's Geese Nest. It's Gosling time now. Thank you so much for writing it.
Okay, thank you for having me on your show.
My pleasure. You've been listening to Books on Air, brought to you on the webtalkradio.net platform. You can also hear this podcast on Apple, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. Remember, keep reading, keep writing, and keep telling your stories. Thank you so very much for listening.